Good evening, Namaste, and you are welcome to Genius Lakshya. This is a unique platform for all the competitive examination of our country because fundamentally we have been focusing on the most prestigious examination of our country like UPSC, all the public service commissions, state public service commission, NDA, CDS and others. So, in the series of Indian polity, we have discussed many topics according to the UPSC syllabus, and today we will discuss a static topic from the Indian polity. We are going to discuss the special officer for linguistic minorities. India is rich in language, and in order to protect and promote all the languages in our country, it is the responsibility of all to respect and protect the languages. So some languages are spoken by substantially a low percentage of the people, which are called minority language. These languages are spoken by less amount of people, less percentage of people in our country. So it is the responsibility and the government of India to protect and promote those minority languages in our country. So today we will understand what constitutional provisions are there to protect and promote these languages. The functions of the special officers, the appointment, the tenure, the service condition are all important. So we will understand all these things. If you have any doubts and query, you can write me on my email ID, that is rohitsika@geniusschool.co.in. Okay, so let's start the presentation with some true and false statements to test your present understanding on the topic. So you can answer in the comment box true and false. Anyhow, you will get the answer in the presentation. Again, after the presentation, I will get back to you and will answer all the statements. So I'm sharing the first slide. So comment me whether it is visible and audible to you. Quickly. Quickly do it. I'm sharing the first slide of the presentation. Special Officer for Linguistic Minorities is the presentation of the day, where we will understand what do we mean by linguistic minorities, which are the languages which are minorities, and the functions, responsibilities of the special officer, its service condition, appointment are the matter of the day. So this was the first slide. Can you tell me whether it is visible and audible so that we can go ahead? Test is the best. Again, this is a test. Originally, the Constitution of India had made many provisions with respect to the special officer for the linguistic minorities. Give your answer whether the statement is true or false. The States Reorganization Commission made a recommendation for the special officer for linguistic minorities. The special officer for linguistic minorities is to be appointed by the governor of the concerned states. Then the special officer for linguistic minorities would report to the governor upon those matters at such intervals he may direct. The special officer for linguistic minority has 5 regional offices in India. The special officer for linguistic minorities submits the report to the Parliament of India. Each regional officer for the linguistic minorities is headed by an assistant commissioner. The commissioner of the linguistic minorities maintains liaison with the state government and union territories. The linguistic minority comes under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Then last question is Bodo language is a minority language in India. So all these are statements. Then let's start the presentation. So we'll start from what is constitutional provision? What kind of provisions are there for the linguistic minorities in our country? So originally the Constitution of India did not make any provision with regard to or with respect to the special officer for linguistic minorities. Initially or in the beginning, there was no provision of special officer for linguistic minorities in the Constitution of India. But it was felt that it is necessary. Then after some time, the States Reorganization Commission made recommendation regarding the special officer for linguistic minorities. Accordingly, the 7th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1956 inserted a new Article 350B in Part 17 of the Constitution of India. And let's see this article 350B has many provisions. There should be a special officer for linguistic minorities according to Article 350B of the Constitution of India. And the commissioner or the special officer is to be appointed by the President of India according to Article 350B. It would be the duty of the special officer to investigate all matters relating to the safeguards provided by the linguistic minorities under the Constitution of India. And the special officer would report to the President of India upon those matters at which intervals as the President may direct. The President of India should place all such reports before each house of the Parliament and send to the government of the state concerned. It means the important points to be noted are the special officer is there to inquire, to investigate all the matters relating to safeguards, relating to protect the linguistic minorities under the Constitution of India. Then the special officer would report the President of India upon those matters at such intervals as the President may direct. The President should place the report before the Parliament of India, and the President should send the report to the government of the state concerned. It should be noted here that the Constitution does not specify regarding qualification of the special officer, tenure of the special officer, salaries, allowances, service conditions, and procedure for removal of the special officer for linguistic minorities. To be specific, the Constitution of India has not given any specific provision for qualification, for tenure, for salaries, allowances, service condition, and the removal process of the special officer for linguistic minorities. The Commissioner for Linguistic Minorities, in pursuance for the provision of Article 350B of the Constitution of India, the office of the Special Officer for Linguistic Minorities was created in 1957, and he was designated as the Commissioner for Linguistic Minorities. So when was it created? The Special Officer for Linguistic Minority was created in 1957, and he was designated as the Commissioner for the Linguistic Minorities. The Commissioner has his headquarters at Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. He has 3 regional offices. One is Belgaum, Karnataka, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, Kolkata, West Bengal, and each is headed by an assistant commissioner. Each regional office is headed by an assistant commissioner. The commissioner is assisted at headquarters by a deputy commissioner and an assistant commissioner. So, how many regional offices are there? There are 3 regional offices. Belgaum, Karnataka. Second, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Third, Kolkata, West Bengal. And these regional offices are headed by an assistant commissioner. And the commissioner is also assisted by a deputy commissioner and an assistant commissioner at the headquarters. The commissioner maintains liaison with the state government and the union territories through nodal officers appointed by him. At the central level, the commissioner falls under the Ministry of Minority Affairs. Hence, he submits annual report of other reports to the president through the union ministry, that is Union Minority Affairs Minister. The role of the commissioner. The commissioner takes up all the matters relating to or pertaining to grievances rising out of the non-implementation of the constitutional and nationally agreed scheme to safeguard the linguistic minorities in our country that come to its knowledge by linguistic minority individuals, by groups, by association, by organizations at the highest political and administrative level of the state government of Union Territory administration, and recommends remedial action taken. Also, the commissioner is there to promote, to preserve the linguistic minority groups. The Ministry of Minority Affairs has requested the state government, the union territories to give wide publicity to the constitutional safeguard provided to linguistic minorities and to take necessary administrative measures. The state governments and the union territory administrative were urged to accord priority to implement the scheme of safeguard the linguistic minorities. The commissioner launched 10 points program to lend fresh impetus to the governmental efforts towards prevention of the language and cultural linguistic minorities. Functions and objectives are like the function and objective of the commissioner are to investigate all matters relating to safeguard provided by the linguistic minorities. To protect the linguistic minorities is the function of the special officer. To submit to the President of India the reports on the status of implementation of constitutional and nationally agreed safeguard linguistic minorities. Then to monitor the implementation of safeguard through the questionnaire, through visit, through conferences, seminars, meetings and review mechanism, Commissioner promotes and protects the language of the minorities. Then the objective is to provide equal opportunities to the linguistic minorities for inclusive development and national integration, to spread awareness amongst linguistic minorities about the safeguard available to them, and to ensure effective implementation of the safeguard provided by the linguistic minorities in the Constitution and other safeguards which are agreed to by states and union territories. To handle the representation of redressal grievances related to safeguard of the linguistic minorities. So, we understood the topic. Urged means to make it important and priority. So the topic was on language and the language of minority. Minority means it is a language spoken by less than 1% people in our country. If these languages will not be safeguarded, not be protected, not be promoted, then one day all these languages will be vanished, will die. So, there is a provision in the Constitution of India to protect and promote these languages. Urge means URGE, urgent, urge, very necessary. To make it mandatory and compulsion is urge. So there is a special officer. That special officer is there to promote the language, to solve the challenges of the minority people regarding the languages like Bodo, Santhali, all these are the languages of minority. Kashmiri. So if the government will not take adequate measure to protect and promote these languages, then these languages will be vanished from the nation one day. And it is not going to be easy for the people to go through a process of a different language. So, today we discussed one of the most important topics, that is the special officer for linguistic minorities in our country. Thank you very much for joining me online. Till then, take care. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.